So I'm back.
And so am I. Good. So, sir, I think within a couple of minutes, we'll score a century. We're already 91.
Yeah.
And this is peak time where people start pouring in. So maybe a minute later, I'll start your introduction. I'll
Sure.
briefly introduce you to the audience, and then you can take the conversation forward. I will be. I would have loved to attend the entire class of yours. Yours is a very interesting subject, but topic. But then I need to have other commitments at home, so I need to move at around 5:20, 5:30.
Sure, I
And
honor
I'm sure
that.
the class will. Well, congratulations, sir. We have scored a century. It's
Yes.
106.
Great.
So, sir, with your permission, should
Recording
I
in
introduce you?
progress.
Sure, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Harvinder Singh. You are meeting me, I believe, nth number of time. I have interacted with you in person, online, and as a part of these sessions. And today I have the pleasure of introducing to you my dear colleague from the marketing area, Professor Ram Mohan Dahara. Professor Ram Mohan Dahara is very interesting in terms of his exposure, personality, and content. For example, Professor Dhara is one of those professors in IMT Ghaziabad who come with very rich academic as well as industry experience. Academically, he has double masters in physics and marketing. He has got certification from Indian Statistical Institute. He has got the top certifications that are relevant for the field of analytics. Yes, he's an analytics man. Experience wise, nearly 2 decades in the industry. He has worked in India, he has worked in Middle East, he has worked in Southeast Asia. He has been hardcore research guy, strategic research, innovation research, brand research, advertising research, public opinion research, retail research, loyalty research, marketing analytics. All these are, heavy words. But then research as he practices and teaches is not boring. All of you think of research in terms of numbers, data, statistics. You need to read numbers. He's an expert in making you see numbers. Of course, he's not Srinivas Ramanujam who could actually see numbers, but he would make you see numbers differently. Please understand, the research that MBAs are supposed to do is a lot different from academic research. Fine. Your research should convey insights in as easy and interesting manner as possible. And today, Professor Dhara will give you a hint, a flavor of how you can show numbers rather than write numbers or read numbers. So visualization of data is his area of expertise. And without wasting much time, I invite Professor Dhara. Sir, please, over to you. The stage is all yours.
So thank you so much. Such a nice and overwhelming introduction. I'm not very sure I deserve all those nice words, but it's your eloquence that you make introductions so nice and you make the professor so challenging to deliver on it. Anyways, okay. So good afternoon, my students. Let me share my screen. Can anyone please confirm that it's visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
It's visible, sir.
Great, great, great. So, think in numbers, talk in visuals. That's the theme today. And masterclass. What is a masterclass, by the way? A master is taking a class, and this is a glorified word for nothing but lecture, right? Lecture is too boring and too technical. Yeah. So let's make this masterclass quite different than actually a masterclass is. Let's make it fun, enjoying, and more interactive. Yeah. I hope that you would enjoy it. So let's talk something different than what exactly the topic that we are going to discuss upon. Let's imagine that there's a new Oscar category called wink. Yeah, I'm sure that you uh, you uh, you must have winked at someone. You have been winked by someone in some part of your life or some part of your day on a daily basis. Yeah, remember that each wink tells a story. Each wink tells a story. The US presidents, they actually, lead the race in winking. Look at this ex-president, yeah, current president. Look at the wink. The wink also tells uh, your age. Yeah, look at another wink, the ex-president, and his wink also gives, some contours on the face as well, which indirectly indicates that he's much younger than other two. Yeah. So US presidents, they lead the race of winking. The Hollywood stars are not behind. Yeah. It's the killing. Our Bollywood stars are also not behind. Okay. It's applied on someone, possibly would be rushed to ICU. Well, so you have seen some of those uh, nominations. Who do you think the Oscar should go to? Any guess? Someone is writing on the chat box. Angelina, Trump, Obama, Rahul Gandhi, Ash, no doubt Aishwarya, Bush. Yeah, there's so many answers. Modi ji, Angelina. Yeah, but the Oscar goes to someone else. Yeah, the Oscar goes to someone else. Let's see. Oscar goes to whom? The Oscar goes to, I'm sure that you would have already guessed it. Yeah. Also, I open the chat box and see that mm, that wasn't nominated. Okay. I take your point. Wasn't nominated. It's a smart guy. But the Oscar also shared by another one. The Oscar is shared by another one. And I'm sure that you have already guessed it. Okay. Now, now let's come to the point. Why I have picked up the wink as a starting point of a heavy topic of visual analytics. Look, every wink tells a story. Yeah. And the one can explain the story in his own way. 10 storytellers would represent the winks in 10 different ways, right? All are relevant as long as these winks are backed by certain information, certain data, certain analysis, certain representations, right? You possibly can create a segmentation study of these wings, putting certain types of wings together to represent a particular emotion, right? Gentleman who created this character, I'm sure that you know his name. So, guys, formally, I welcome you to this masterclass on visual storytelling. I'm thrilled to have each one of you here today, embarking on the exciting journey of exploring the captivating world of visual storytelling. Trust that you are among top 1% aspirants who made it at IMT Ghaziabad. You do possess a unique blend of analytical thinking, strategic mindset, and thirst of knowledge. Today, we'll explore these talents to shape an invaluable, persuasive, and engaging skill called visual storytelling. Now, in this masterclass, I'll give you a glimpse of the art of crafting compelling narratives that will stay in the minds of the audience. Visual storytelling has become an integral part of effective communication in today's dynamic business landscape. It enables you to communicate ideas, strategies, emotions in a way that engages, inspires, and influences others. Whether you are interested in marketing, entrepreneurship, leadership, or any other domain, the ability to tell a compelling visual stories will be an valuable asset in your professional journey. We have carefully curated a bouquet of the courses in the area of data analytics, marketing analytics, and visual analytics with practical insights, hands-on experiences, and the real-world examples that will sharpen your storytelling skills and ignite your creative thinking. And I do encourage you to subscribe these courses. Once again, I welcome you to the masterclass of visual storytelling. So what is a visual storytelling? So that's the obvious question comes up. Yeah. So visual storytelling is a multidimensional approach that combines the visual elements, narrative tactics. Yeah. There are certain techniques which are available, how you can connect those visuals and develop a complete, compelling narrative and emotional engagement to convey a message or a story. It involves the strategic use of visuals like images, videos, infographics, charts, and other graphical representations to communicate information, evoke emotions, and create a compelling narrative experience. So that's a very comprehensive definition of visual storytelling. So what are the components generally used in a visual storytelling? The components are, apart from text, which we try to minimize the use, the photos, emotions, sounds, videos, animations, maps, data analytics, and data visualization. Okay, and these two uh, we can club together and say that this area of visual analytics. In the rest of the conversation, the discussion which we'll have today, um, our focus will be the visual analytics part of it. Okay, each picture, each photo tells a story. With this note, we begin this masterclass. Look at this. This picture actually is time immortal. It was true yesterday, it's true today, and possibly it will remain tomorrow. All right, welcome once again. And we move on to what is visual analytics. So in business, what happens that the decisions that you take or that you will take when you'll become a manager almost on everyday basis, that needs to be backed by some data information, right? And the data and information needs to be presented. So when you are communicating the decision to the top management or to your boss or to your peers, um, you hardly present the data and the hardcore numbers. You present them in terms of certain visuals. Okay. And you create a story, you create a narrative. The narrative should be actually supported by the visuals and the data. So in that process, you engage your audience. So um, at IMT Ghaziabad, as I just told you that we have uh, very carefully curated certain courses to develop this aptitude of converting the data into visuals and the visuals into a compelling narrative. It's the process of visual analytics. I'm not taking this in detail, so I'm just skipping this slide. So it's a science of analytical reasoning, interactive visual interfaces. It uses automatic data analysis methods, and it's helped by enormous storage and the processing capacities. Today, the amount of the data that we are generating, even 15, 20, or 30 years ago, the same amount of data, almost similar amount of data we used to generate, just keep across this digital digital gadgets. But nowadays, why there is so much of discussion around data science analytics? The reason being that today we have the storage capacity. Today we have the higher processing capacity. Today we have different tools and techniques to analyze the data. And that's why all of a sudden the analytics, data science, machine learning, next avatar is AI, they are being so popular and have found use in the mainstay of the businesses. Yeah, you can imagine that today the smartphone that we're using, in 70s, the moon lander, the processor of the moon lander was weaker than the one that we are using our smartphones. So that's the power of analytics today. Uh, just a quick uh, story of how visual analytics evolved during those days. Possibly you didn't born, probably your parents also didn't. There used to be something called the Lotus 1 to 3. And then from the Lotus 1 to 3, it moved on to RDBMS. And then Excel came in the market during 90s. So the first time users of the Excel and creating charts and graphs were so exciting. And then during 2000, its Tableau came in the market, and that changed the whole, the battlefield in terms of data visualization. Uh, so when an organization gets into data usage analytics to make better decisions, that's typically how they mature. A typical analytics journey starts with descriptive. Okay, tell me what is happening. So they have a huge amount of data. One needs to look at the data and try to find out what's actually happening within the organization. Okay, um, and then if something is happening, why that is happening. So that takes us to a diagnostic analytics. If the sales are not happening, why that's not happening? Yeah, if it is happening, why it is happening, which products or the product categories are actually contributing to it, which markets are contributing to it. Then we move on to predictive analytics. Means if this happens, or if this doesn't happen, how this is going to impact the market, how it's going to impact us, possibly a few quarters or few years down the line. And then if I want to grow, say, by 10x, what we should do today? So that forms prescriptive analytics. But these different types of analytics do not work in silos. So what do I mean? I mean to say that, say if you have a business question, in order to address that question, you may need to use different techniques available at each stage to answer that question comprehensively. Based on the what kind of analytics you are employing to address a business question, that defines what kind of the visual analytics that you will develop. So what kind of dashboard that you will create. So if I'm talking about understanding certain phenomenon, my dashboard will be more into descriptive type. And if it is to answer a particular question as why, then I need to take the reins from the descriptive dashboard, create another couple of pages to address those questions, that why it is not happening or how this can happen, etc., etc. So this is where the link between you can say the analytics and the dashboards, right? Let's take a couple of examples. It's an analytics, it's a retail analytics dashboard. Um, so the same dashboard can be used to tell different stories depending on what's the context. Like it's a dashboard, it's a plain dashboard of it shows that the sales and the profit and those outcome parameters of different product categories, and through a bar chart as well as through a chart on the map. Um, if we further break down this dashboard into its components, then a story emerges. So in this masterclass, I'm not going to take you through the actual case which has curated a compelling story, but I'm just giving a sort of glimpse that how does the storytelling works and how the storytelling actually should start with. An HR analytics dashboard. Now, when we create a dashboard, the whole objective is to create a compelling visual story with the help of the data and information. Now, one of the key requirements is the domain knowledge. You need to understand the domain.
We cannot hear you. You're mute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Uh, one of the requirements is that you need to understand that domain. Like, what are the KPIs which make relevance in this particular domain? So you can see that the KPIs in an HR analytics dashboard would be very different than from the marketing dashboard, and very different from a marketing analytics dashboard, right? The different tools which are available for the analytics, visual analytics, like Tableau, Power BI, Google Data Studio, ClickView. Some of them that we will use in our class will use Tableau, Power BI, Google Data Studio. If it is the time permits, we'll use the ClickView as well. Not in this master class, but in our actual visual analytics class. I have picked up a use case, yeah, and I'll try to explain a story with the help of this. It's a company called Adventure Works. The manufacture cycles. It's the case which is given by Microsoft. It's used in the Microsoft training classes of Power BI. It's a company that manufactures bicycles, related clothing, accessories. The company has its presence in United States, Canada, France, Germany, UK, Australia. They have a headquarter in Washington, employs more than 500 workers. Now, the data that has been shared by Microsoft that says that they had a very good fiscal year in terms of performance, but then they want to increase its market presence. And how they want to increase the market presence? Through advertising its good performance across digital platforms, yeah, extending the availability of the high performing products through other external websites so that they can increase their reach. They also want to acknowledge top customers through various schemes, yeah. So through different strategies, they want to increase their market share. If someone's mic is on, can you please mute it? Someone's mic is on. Can you please mute it? Well, now the company has shared the data for sales, its customers, product, market presence for a period of 18 months, and sales department needs to present a report to the management addressing how the company is performing in the last 18 months. This would eventually takes the first route to increase the market share. Which product and the product category are contributing to the performance? That will eventually address the second route to increase the market share, that is extending availability of the high performing products through an external website. And the third, how can the company incentivize the top contributing customers? So that would eventually justify the route of increasing the market share by acknowledging top customers through various schemes. A set of dashboards have been created based on the data shared by Microsoft, and it tells a story. I mean, if I look at the dashboard and the couple of dashboards, that it tells a clear story about how the company is performing in terms of sales, orders, the profit, which all product categories are doing good, better, which all products are doing better, yeah, in which market they are doing better. So top product, it says, it shows that as water bottle, that's the top selling product in terms of orders, right? We can further deep down into how this product is performing in terms of its KPIs. It also talks about how much, how many of these products have been returned over a period of time. That's an interesting area to narrate a good story, that though the product is performing very well, the top performing product, but at the same time, it also has certain issues in terms of possibly the quality, because that's why these are being returned. So that's how we actually progress in a visual story. The first, we give a big picture how the company is performing at an overall level. Then we identify then which are the areas that needs to have more attention, right? And then the elements which needs more attention is further analyzed at its objective level, to the level that it has information, and then we try to create a story in this manner, right? So that's how generally we create a story using the visuals. So in the class, we will teach you how to read the numbers, how to create insights from the numbers, how to create compelling visuals to depict the insights, how to connect different visuals to create a story, and hence a visual story. So I have another use case on digital marketing. It's a similar approach that I have taken. So I'm not explaining that in details. Yeah. So there are 3 dashboards which have been created to address certain objectives, primarily the traffic analysis on the website. 10 times it's an organization that is one of the largest aggregator of the business events, and they help their clients to achieve the 10x growth. They want to understand that they're the source of their traffic, their channel performance, and how they're used. So in that way, to address those 3 objectives, the 3 dashboards are created. One on the traffic analysis, one on the conversion, one is the usage, and through these different dashboards, a story is created. Right? Well, so I just make a pause at this point, and almost I'm at the end of my presentation, that what I wanted to give you a glimpse about how to create a visual story using visual analytics. I'm leaving certain things with you. You can use your imagination to create your own stories. Can you identify these pictures, these characters? Let me see that. Yes, I'm sure that. Yes, good. R.K. Laxman. Yeah, R.K. Laxman. Yeah. So you can create your own story. You can explain the story in your own words. Mahatma Gandhi, possibly that time, did he really imagine that one day the India would look something like this? This common man, he's watering a plant, and see that his next generation, how that would look like. That's one picture, tells a lot. It's very much applicable to you guys, and possibly when you are in class 12th and your board giving or board exams or entrance exams. So your perception is your reality. What you perceive you are, that is you are. So your perception is your reality. People forget the facts, but they remember the stories. It's the quote from one of the very famous American writer. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'll be very happy to address that. Yeah, I just stop presenting so that I can see the screen participants. If you have any questions, just unmute yourself and tell your name and then shoot the question.
Hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Aksh.
Yes, sir. My
Yes.
name is Akshaj.
Hmm.
So, sir, in one of the previous slides about the adventure cycles,
Yeah,
there was a mention of a point for increasing their sales. The company wanted to make use of external websites.
yeah.
What exactly is that?
The external websites could be many, could be on some other e-commerce site, some other platform.
Okay.
Is Power BI and the Google Data Studio part of the curriculum, or is there a separate elective of this? This is a part of the curriculum. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Power BI is on Mac. No, that will be a little challenge, but we'll have some ways. If someone is opting for marketing specialist, how does he advance as an analyst? Um, well, um, the marketing is actually an analytical function. So any function in marketing, whether the marketing or branding or product management, they are all very much analytical functions. So one needs to have good understanding of analytical tools, techniques, especially how to kind of extract the insights from the data. It's important. So one is automatically an analyst, whether you work as a marketing analyst or whether as a marketing manager. That's not so relevant. Welcome. From a data analysis perspective, I couldn't read that. You can unmute yourself and ask the question. The other question that I could see, Tableau and the Power BI both go hand in hand, or they cater to different needs in terms of simplifying the data. It goes hand in hand. It depends on what kind of environment that the organization is working. What should marketing, how should we take analytics as minor with marketing specialization? Yes, there is an option. You can take that. Yes. How is SaaS VA? Now, the SaaS VA, the SaaS enterprise minor, that's not taught here. It's a pretty costly. The license is pretty costly. Thank you. Yes, Power BI on Mac हो जाएगा. Is there a requisite to do well in the marketing specialization? Well, to do well in the marketing specialization, that you just need to apply your common sense. You need to think a lot. I always tell my students that marketing is a thinking function. That if you think, if you enhance your thinking ability, there is certainly you can become a good marketing manager. Yeah, thank you, Nishant. We should learn the basic tools taught from the basics. Yes, all these will be taught from the basics. And the good part is that, you don't need to have any programming background. That's not required at all. So you can enjoy uh, the insights from the data and enjoy the storytelling part, enjoy the visualization part. You don't need to have any programming background. But if you have a programming background, you can multiply the power of it by 10x. So if you know how to do programming in R or Python or any other yes, any other language, then the output of that can be used in the data visualization.
Good evening, sir. Gagan this side. So
Gagan,
how,
yes.
yeah, so how visual marketing is different from storytelling marketing?
How visual marketing is different from storytelling marketing. Um, Visual marketing, if I assume, I do not know exact definition of the visual marketing, but if I assume that visual marketing would be that when you uh, market your product, um, you possibly use the visual tools, right? Um, Possibly in terms of the presentations, in terms of animation, in terms of simulation. So those are the different techniques which are used uh, to visualize the product instead of just talking about it. If that is the definition of visual marketing, then visual analytics is actually a little different from it, can be integrated with it as well. So visual analytics is that you have some data, and the after thorough analysis of the data, you create a story which you are planning to tell to your audience. So that's visual analytics and storytelling with visual analytics. Yes. How much growth has marketing analytics achieved as a discipline, considering that while working with the big data analytics, there's a scope to shift towards consulting rather than staying on in the core marketing domain? So it's the matter of your choice and your passion. I mean, if you want to stick to the marketing function, so basically you will deal with primarily marketing analytics at the back end of your decisions. Otherwise, you have a choice to move on to an analytics and consulting function, which would involve more of analytics. Can you suggest some courses that need to have when take marketing as a specialization piece? Some course on data analysts as well. If you're talking about the courses at IMT Ghaziabad, you can easily find out when you look at their core courses and the elective courses. However, if you want to do something more than that, there are a couple of platforms available, starting from Coursera, Simply Learn, Edureka, Udemy. They have a whole plethora of courses on analytics. Yes, there are courses on Coursera as well as on Udemy, Akash. Yeah, so I hope that I have replied to your question. Apart from your syllabus, you can do a lot more on these different platforms. If I want to explain my product, the story behind it to a customer who is a layman. How do I do it? There are many ways you can do it. There are many ways you can do it. It is very much very specific to the product. Very specific to the product. You need to uh, think innovatively. Some of us here have taken financial management specialization. Is there anything that you need to do before registration side by side the courses to become the better versions of ourselves? It's a very general question, and answer will be very general. There are many courses in your curriculum which is related to the personality, related to communication. You can opt for those courses. What's if it's a badminton or racket? Sorry, I couldn't understand this point. Visual marketing, do we need to know more software something? That's not very much essential. Whatever we will your course content to for the visual marketing, I mean, if the definition that I have understood, which I just told you, if that is the visual marketing, it needs different types of skill to do the visual marketing. So visual marketing and visual analytics here are slightly different. One can use visual analytics to do the visual marketing, but these two are two different things. So last two questions.
So Gagan, this side again. So
Gagan.
ONTC is doing a marketing strategy in which they have make a target. First, we are going to have this much consumer, then we are going to spend on marketing. So what kind of marketing is this, and what is the benefit of this?
Well, those specific questions you can connect separately of the masterclass session. I'll be happy to answer your questions, Gagan.
Okay, so where I can connect you?
Yeah. You just drop me an email or just ask the board number to connect to me, or by the time when you are already in the campus, just contact me. The last question. What should marketing students focus more on, Excel or PPT skills? On both. So you want my email address? Here it is. So here it is. How do we know what type of graph should be used for the? This is a very interesting question, and this is what we will teach you in the class. How do I explain a story behind one of my products, say badminton racket, to a customer who is a layman? Should I be descriptive or be more visual? Well, when you say it's a layman, then I understand that he doesn't know what is badminton as a game. If that is the case, then you have a higher challenge. Else, to sell a badminton racket to a sportsman who has the awareness about the badminton can be done using a sort of a video of playing badminton, and then you can talk about the values of your product and hence the price. What is the prospect of Power BI in marketing? It's a huge, and this would be extremely helpful during the time of your internship, and as well as during the time of the interview process. All analytics related courses, including the visualization, would be very helpful. I have already sent my email address. Any sources from which semester we'll start learning these tools? These tools are from 4th semester onwards, in the 2nd year. Haven't got the email. Wait. What electives should we choose alongside marketing as a major in marketing? If you take marketing as a major, you have a lot of other options to take as minor. The operations, HR, analytics. But if you are if your interest is in more the quantitative side of the marketing, which is actually marketing field has evolved in the last possibly taking business analytics as a minor would be helpful. All right, so thank you very much, students, and I look forward to have you all in the campus and also in the class as we move on, and wish you all the best, a great learning opportunity at IMT Ghaziabad, and a great life ahead. Yeah, if you have any other question, you always can reach out to me through the email address, which I have just typed down in the chat screen. All right, so thank you very much. Have a nice day. And I leave the session.